Hello to you. I hope you're having a wonderful day on this Friday, the 4th of July, big holiday, of course. Hopefully you'll get a chance to relax, maybe enjoy some time with family and friends. Maybe you're about to hop on a boat or hop on a plane, go on a nice vacation. And I want to update you on what is cooking, what's happening in the tropics, so that you'll know which areas you may want to avoid, or if you're heading in those areas where we do have trouble, you'll at least know what's coming. We do have some new developments. A new tropical depression has now formed right off of the southeastern U.S. coast, and we've been thinking for days that this has been a possibility. Florida, especially the Florida Peninsula, has been getting hammered with wave after wave of heavy rain for much of this week, and that continues to be the case. We actually have a weak frontal boundary draped over the southeastern U.S. We had an upper low that is now formed into a tropical depression, and that is just off of that southeastern U.S. coast. So you can see it here, mainly off to the east of Jacksonville. You can see that convection on our satellite loop blowing up there. The thunderstorms getting more organized. We actually had hurricane hunters fly into this system this morning, and they finished their investigating, and they determined that yes, we do have at least a tropical depression, and they are thinking that it will become at least a minimal tropical storm by this weekend, likely by tomorrow, and the name is going to be Chantal. So we currently have tropical depression number 3. This is the 4 p.m. advisory. Moving very slowly, crawling to the north at 2 miles per hour, maximum sustained winds at 35 miles per hour. And you can see it there off to the east northeast of Jacksonville, Florida. Where's it going to make landfall? Well, if you check out the center of this cone, highest likelihood would be right around Charleston. That would be late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. It is expected to become Tropical Storm Chantal by Saturday afternoon with 40 mile per hour winds. That is a minimal tropical storm, but still a tropical storm nonetheless. 1 a.m. Sunday, 40 mile per hour winds, likely making landfall in between Savannah and Charleston, and then rolling north near Columbia, South Carolina, as we go through Sunday, weakening to a tropical depression once again, and then kind of falling apart, but still being a big time rain producer. You can already see a tropical storm watch has been issued for a big chunk of the Carolina coast, stretching from Charleston to Georgetown to Myrtle Beach. So this means tropical storm conditions are possible over the next few days. This could get upgraded to a tropical storm warning. So if you had any plans this weekend to enjoy some time at some of these super popular beaches, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, certainly watch out, because that's where we have the trouble brewing. Our exclusive Fox Weather tropical model showing what will likely become Tropical Storm Chantal rolling into the Carolinas from Savannah to Charleston to Wilmington. That's where we're going to have the highest likelihood of this making landfall. So wind will be gusty at times. There could be a few tornadoes, but I think the biggest risk with this will be the potential for several inches of rain. Most of the models indicating the heaviest rain will stay just offshore, but there's still going to be the potential for some heavy downpours in the coastal Carolina area. So you can see by Saturday night, Sunday night, it's starting to fall apart after landfall, but it is still going to be producing some bursts of rain across the Carolinas, and eventually some of that moisture may get pulled up towards DC, Richmond, Philly, and New York City by Monday as we go through the morning and afternoon. So this is going to be our travel trouble spot for the holiday weekend. Rainfall will continue to build as this area of low pressure continues to get its act together and likely become Tropical Storm Chantal as we go into the next 24 hours. Forecast rain for this area, southeast U.S. from the Florida coast up to the Georgia and Carolina coast. This model showing maybe 2 to 4, maybe 2 to 5 inches possible, with the heaviest rain, those 7 to 10 inch totals, staying offshore. So we'll have to watch this closely, but there could definitely be a flood threat brewing here. As far as the rest of the tropics, well, things are quiet, but of course we are still expecting an above average hurricane season for the Atlantic Basin. In fact, Colorado State University Forecasters predicting 17 named storms, 9 hurricanes, and 4 major hurricanes, which is above the norm. We've already had Tropical Storm Andrea, Tropical Storm Barry, short-lived. Neither one of those impacted the U.S., but we are expecting more. So we'll likely have Chantal by this weekend, and then we'll look to see if Dexter or Erin or Fernan will be developing anytime soon. So typical formation zones for the rest of July would actually be northwestern sections of the Gulf, western parts of the Atlantic, and also west-northwest parts of the Caribbean. So we'll have to monitor things closely as we go through the rest of July. But remember, last year, July 8th, that was the time when we were hit by Hurricane Beryl. So it's still a little early in the season, but not impossible to get hit by a hurricane. Of course, as we jump into the month of August and especially the month of September, you can see the orange popping up there in the central Gulf. That means a more likely chance for a hurricane to develop, and an even higher shot for September. So usually September 10th is the peak of hurricane season. You can see a really high chance across the western Atlantic, and for much of the Gulf, there's certainly a higher shot. So nothing tropical headed towards Texas for now, but of course we'll be looking for Tropical Storm Chantal to develop and impact the southeast U.S. coast over the holiday weekend. More Texas Live and Local when we return.